weight. I don't know why I did that. That was stupid. Yeah, good job, Miles. Just throw your props. Hey, I'm Miles. I know I don't look like I normally do. That's my normal look. Don't freak out though, it's still me. I wanted to show you guys a quick insight on something else I'm building on the side of doing all the Spider-Man stuff I normally do. This is a project I've been working on since I was 16, maybe even younger than that. I've been working for a pretty long time on this one, and it's not even fully done yet. I still have a lot of pieces left to put on it. But given that today's May 4th, I wanted to give you guys a quick insight as to what it actually is and what I'm building. So I'm going to break down each piece of it and show you it more in depth. Alright, so starting from the inside out or the ground up, we're going to start with the black jumpsuit. Now, it can be referred to as a black jumpsuit, a black flight suit, or a worker jumpsuit, whatever you want to call it. There's plenty of different places you can actually get these. This particular jumpsuit, the one I got, it was a fairly cheap one, I think sub 50, sub 40. Pretty cheap stuff. It's actually a Dickies jumpsuit. I'll leave a link in the description to where I found it. But the jumpsuit is not something that they're particularly picky about unless you're going for a level 2 in the 501st. I'm still working on getting my level 1 because I don't even have the whole thing built yet. But in terms of the jumpsuit, I picked this one because there's zippers, there's Velcro, it's nice, there's good cargo pockets, it's just this nice texture, and it works as a good base suit. So Dickies jumpsuit for the first piece. The next piece we have, or one of the more expensive pieces, is the leather and suede gloves. I'm wearing one now just to show how it fits and how it folds, moves with the skin, all that fun stuff. So it's really high quality. It's pretty screen accurate. I think it's one of the more screen accurate ones you could get. I believe I got this from a site called Wampa Creations or Wampa Studios. I'm not sure the exact name. I'll look it up and leave a link in the description for these exact gloves. But I know there's plenty of places that actually sell different variants, different versions of the gloves. Just the particular ones I got, the ones I'm wearing, are from the site that I'll leave listed below. But really good quality. So for these, we have the the bicep and the forearm pieces of armor. There are 2 of each of these, one for the left arm, one for the right arm. Obviously, I don't need to show you all 4 of them. These are a vacuum formed plastic that I got from a site called Studio Creations. So they actually sent me, I bought and they sent me a whole kit. So the entire kit included of 2 of each of these on the other arm, the chest piece, the back piece, which I'll go over in the next part, the shoulder pieces, and the helmet kit, which I'll go over in the next part. All of them are made from the same type of no. All of them are made from the same vacuum formed plastic, this nice white shiny PVC plastic. It's very bendy, very flexible, very good movement, very good stuff to use, and very screen accurate for the 501st stuff to get your approval. This little piece is just a black piece. I'm not sure of the material it's made of, but it's a nice detailed piece, as you can see when the light hits it. It comes with the kit as well, just a simple epoxy to get it in there. And then on the inside, this is where you can kind of be creative. You can do your strapping. So the strapping I did is there's hook Velcro on both sides of these. Same thing with this, hook Velcro on either side of the inside. And then there is elastic that goes around it to wrap it to your arm. So I use a variety of elastic. I switch between using the 1-inch or the 2-inch, just depending on where the piece is and how much structure it really needs. Obviously I have a lot of elastic I went through just to kind of pick out what I wanted, what I needed. But once you kind of find what you want to do, it works nice and easy. And again, this is a suit from Studio Creations. Next up, we have one of the bigger pieces. We have the torso piece. So again, like I said, I got this in a kit. So it came, none of it was trimmed, none of it was made up. It was all individual pieces. So when I got this particular piece was the front, the back, the 2 shoulders, and the back tank. So the front, obviously it's the front of the armor. Attaches to the back of the armor once it's cut out and trimmed and all that. It's attached here with some Velcro that goes across the top like that. So it's attached, one side overlaps the other. To keep these don't ever come apart. These stay together as they go right over my shoulders. And then this piece, the shoulder piece, is attached with another piece of Velcro stitched on, gone to the underside of this. So it swings, and I'm going to add a piece on the inside to attach to my arm so that it doesn't go swingy when I'm using it. And down here, this is what comes apart for me. So I have, that's where I'm using the 1-inch or 2-inch white elastic attached to hook Velcro, of course, so that I have enough room to get into the suit before it clamps down. So I have enough room to get in there, and then I can move, can't do it with one hand, move the elastic in and clamp it down so it hugs my side nice and neat. And then we have the back tank, which again came in the kit from Studio, I gotta set it up. Came in the kit from Studio Creations. This itself is one hollow piece. It attached right onto the back of the suit, and it attached with a rivet that goes through to the bottom. So it attached through with a rivet, and this piece is both riveted and epoxied on. It's made of that same nice black plastic, that first piece. I gotta dust it off, it's been there for a minute. But it's made of that same material that the bicep armor had. Alright, next up we have a fairly complex piece, but actually very simple when you break it down. So again, I'm going to keep saying where I got it from. All of these plastic pieces are vacuum formed from a site called Studio Creations that came in one big kit. This belt, it's nice and bendy. It's very helpful that it's bendy because it wraps right around your waist. So this belt was one piece, this was one piece, this was one piece. That was a few pieces. This came in a whole, this was a whole project itself to build, just this back piece, and then it attached through. So with these suits, you're going to get an instruction manual of how to roughly build it, but it's free to your interpretation of how you want to make it. So the way the front piece works for me is I've cut out this piece of the plastic, lined the elastic through, and it's just one piece that lines through. It's then lined through with the buckles. Nice. So this piece is all one, and these buckle on. It's lined through with the buckles and the side pouches work the same exact way. Elastic runs through the inside, cuts through to another buckle. And now this piece still needs to be attached to the back of the belt, which I haven't done yet because I'm still test fitting it. Works the same on the other side. Now the back here, it is not elastic, this is nylon. The reason it's nylon is because it's holding this on and it needs more structure. So the way it's held onto the back is again through these cutout pieces that you Dremel cut through. And then you pull them through, and now what some people do is that they put Velcro on the inside of here and attach it through. I don't do that though, because when I'm getting in and out of the belt, I can't do it with one hand, but I like to pull these through like a belt and then pull them back to tighten them so it wraps my waist, and these edges are burnt so they're not going to fall out. So it's really good to adjust it. And now this back piece, again, it was a kit itself, so it comes with this nice tubing. The tube goes to the inside of this plastic piece. You can see it's zip tied in there, then the nylon is zip tied around that. These are all zip ties that the site provided me with, so it's not like I just greebly it together. The site provides me with all this stuff. And then of course these end caps, they just pop on, you can glue them in. And then these same black decorative pieces that you epoxy on. With these vacuum forms, you want to make sure to use epoxy, not hot glue, just in terms of when you're out trooping, getting sweaty, getting hot, you don't want it to fall off with the hot glue. So the epoxy is the way to go, from what I've been told from all of my Stormtrooper friends, which I know comes as a shock to everybody because I'm the Spider-Man guy. But yes, I have a lot of Stormtrooper friends, and I do the Stormtrooper stuff too. I just don't post about it because it doesn't do as well. And this is my first Stormtrooper costume. Alright, the last couple pieces I'm going to talk about are the pieces I actually have to work on tonight and finish tonight. I didn't have them ready for the video because of my scheduling. I was scheduled to make them tonight. So these are the knee guards. Obviously they just go right on my knee like that. They're going to work the same way with the elastic. I'm going to just Dremel a nice hole through, strap it through, Velcro elastic, kindergarten stuff. We've done that, we've been there. This next piece is the boot holster. So I don't have my boots yet, and I don't have my cummerbund yet. Those are pieces I've ordered that are on their way that I hope should be here by the end of the month so I can get my shoot done by the end of the month. I had planned on getting the shoot done by tomorrow or by today, if you're watching this now, on May 4th, but unfortunately the vendors didn't get them to me in time, which is fine. I ordered them months ago, but they're all custom made, so I understand. But this is the boot holster that's going to go on the right boot. So obviously this piece fits the Scout Blaster. It's going to be riveted right onto the, it'll be riveted right onto the side of the boot. And this gets riveted to the inside of the boot. So that's all stuff that I'm going to have to do in a separate video later. But it's not stuff that I have done yet because I don't have the boots. And here we have the famous Scout blaster pistol. Seen in Return of the Jedi, obviously where the famous Scout made his debut. I have 3 versions of this pistol, and I have 3 versions for a reason. This first version I got from Hole in the Ground Productions. It is a very heavy, that's probably not a good idea for me to do that. It's a very heavy resin blaster. So it's the correct weight for the ones they use in the movie. It gives you proper weight, so when you're holding it, you have the proper handle, you have the proper angle, you're feeling everything good. It's heavy, it's good. It's always good to have a heavy prop if you want good photography done. And it's the most realistic of the 3. The second I have is a slightly smaller, but very lightweight. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, good job, Miles. Just throw your props. The second one I have is a lightweight 3D printed version that one of my buddies printed out for me. Shout out to Coach Joe. This one's super lightweight, so this is probably the one I'll be putting in the boot because it's probably like a 1/4 of the weight of this one. This one's really heavy, and this one is super light. This one's like paper. So I'll be applying magnets to it and put it inside the boot. It's super lightweight, 3D printed as you can see, so I have some work to do on it. It's super lightweight, super good for shoots and getting messy and dirty, while this one will be used for professional photography. The last one I have is the same as this one. It's another 3D printed one, but if you've seen The Mandalorian, oh, there we go. If you've seen The Mandalorian, there's a scene where some biker scouts are watching out, and one of the bikers shakes his gun. And there's a sound. So when my buddy printed this one for me, he's like, do you want the sound effects one? And I was confused what he meant, but I said, sure. He gave it to me, he shook it, and he reminded me of the scene, and I was like, that's a good idea, I'm gonna take it. So I have 3 separate blasters, which is really cool, because these 2 I can use for going out shooting, going out taking photo shooting, taking photos, going out into forest, jungles, forest preserves, stuff like that to get the good photos. And this I can use for trooping, for taking professional photos, taking studio photos, stuff like that, up close stuff. So it's nice to have 3 separate options for props. And lastly, we have the piece de resistance, the piece that everyone's been waiting for, and the piece I get asked about a lot. If you're from my TikTok, you probably have seen this particular helmet in action with my lightsaber videos, or with any Star Wars video I make, because it's the only piece of Star Wars equipment I have, aside from my friend's Kylo Ren helmet, that I haven't used yet. The helmet itself probably took me the longest to build out of anything. So just like the armor, it came in a kit. The kit had the helmet not cut out and in all different pieces. It was, I don't know how many pieces it was because I built it a while ago, but it was this front piece, this back piece, this top piece, this visor piece, and then this all front. This was a piece, that was a piece, the visor was a separate piece, all the stickers were different pieces, everything, and then this whole hooking system on the inside. So this took the longest time to build, mostly because I knew I only had one shot. It was an expensive kit, and if I messed it up, I was kind of boned. I didn't have another shot at building the helmet. So, now that I've explained it, I don't have a video of me making the helmet because I made it a while ago, and I wasn't really recording videos back then. Well, I was, but I was doing TikTok. So I'm gonna go through and break down just individual pieces of it. Something cool about this helmet is it's not like most Stormtrooper helmets where it's one piece. The 2 pieces hook up here and actually provide for a nice opening mechanism to get your head in there. So you don't need to have it as one piece like those big buckets all the TKs wear and all those cool helmets, which I wish to have one day. This one is a nice open and shut to get your head in there. Let me get to the inside here. Let me get some light in here. The visor is a green tinted resin visor that the kit provided me with. And as you can see, it looks really messy in there with all the tape and stuff, but the tape, that's all just extra support. That's not to actually hold it on there. The way I held it on is with epoxy. So it was heat formed, bent to shape, and held on with epoxy like everything else in this build, and the tape was just extra security. The inside of the helmet, this is something I actually lucked out on. A lot of people who know me from TikTok know that I don't drive a car as much as I ride motorcycles. This is a new motorcycle helmet I have because my old one got pretty beat up, pretty broken. But if you look on the inside here, I'm going to show you an example. You see that inside material, all that foam, that professional fitting foam? I used the stuff from my old helmet I stripped it out of the old broken helmet and put it in there because it fit my head perfectly, it fit the helmet perfectly, and I figured as long as I can get it in there, it's perfect. Obviously, I don't expect you to buy a whole motorcycle helmet just to rip the insides out and put them in here. So you can get the same thing accomplished with a variety of straps, elastic, and foam, which a lot of guys use. They use the inside helmet foam, which I can provide links to, because I used it for a lot of helmets in the past. But if you just so happen to have an old motorcycle helmet you don't use or is busted up, then take an X-Acto knife to the inside, rip that stuff out, put it right in there. Again, with the epoxy and the hot glue, but it works a treat. It fits in my head perfectly. As soon as I started finishing up this helmet is when my old helmet broke, my motorcycle helmet. So I figured as long as I was gonna throw it out, I'd still use the helmet pieces for something.
So now that I've shown you all the pieces, how they work, and how they are built together, it would be wrong of me not to put the suit on. So I'll show you the final reveal of what I have so far. I'm still missing a few pieces, but here's what I got. So thanks so much for watching. May the 4th be with you, or may the Force be with you? Should that be my outro? No, I don't think I can copyright that one. Bye!